right, with an open mouth and eyes in there. But I want you to be able to understand what is dorsal, what is anterior, what is posterior, and ventral, because I will take a shell like this and put A, B, C, D on it and ask you which part is closest to the head, which part is posterior, etc. And so how you do that is the hinge to the bivalves, tooth valves, is always the dorsal. So really, they're not like that, they go like this. Okay, this is the back. Now, where is the head? This little bump right here is called an umbo. And I have all the important words that I want you to know of here, okay? That's called an umbo, and the umbo is always closest to the head. So this is anterior, this is posterior, this is ventral, okay? So when you open this up, taking it off, this skin that you see right here, part of it's here, this was on the other shell, okay? That is the mantle, okay? That skin is the mantle, and it secretes the mantle shell, okay? The visceral mass is all this stuff here, you know, because inside of it is its digestive system, reproductive system, circulatory system. So this right here is really the epidermis. The mantle is an extra flap from the ectoderm. Okay, now these things, and this right here at the bottom, that real rough, thick muscle, that is the muscular foot. That's the foot. Put that up there. I'll write that up there, but shouldn't have it, because I do want you to recognize the foot. And what it does, now since it's been in a preservative, it's stiff, all right, it's shrank. But normally they would have that foot sticking out and they would dig down through the sediment, like that. Now these are filter feeders, and that means they're taking little tiny organic particles out of the water. And so in order to do that, they would have two muscles. See this big muscle right here, this big muscle right there. These are called adductor muscles. Adductor. Adduction is a movement toward the middle. Abduction is a movement away. Okay, so these are adductor muscles, and what they do is when they contract, they will pull the mantle completely together so that the edges of the mantle all meet, and it creates a watertight seal, okay? Except for, now this thing doesn't show it too well, but sticking out at the posterior end would be two things called siphons, an in-current siphon and an ex-current siphon. These you can't see too well, but they're right here, okay? The bottom side, they've shrank because it's been in a preservative, but they would have been here. The ventral one, okay, get the right direction here. The ventral one is an in-current siphon. The dorsal one is an ex-current siphon. And so it would have everything closed except for the siphons sticking out. And the water current would be brought in through the ventral, and it would circulate through the mantle cavity. So this open space here is the mantle cavity, and then across these things. Okay, now these are two flaps. These are the gills. So this here is the visceral mass, but there's two of these, and they're very, very thin. And when this is filled up with water, then they would be hanging down, you know, like this in the mantle cavity, okay, floating. They are covered with cilia, and the cilia beating is what creates the water current. Okay, so that's one function. I said that they have three functions. One is that they create the water current. They're also respiratory. That's why they're called gills. I really would like a different word, but I won't impinge on you about that word, but officially it's called they're really called a tenidium, but I'll let you go ahead. Boy, whoever uses this next is going to love it. Juice on their hands. But anyhow, they would be hanging down. So they do take oxygen out of the water, okay? A third function is as that water current is coming in and circulating, first of all, ventrally, then around through the tenidia and back out the ex-current siphon, which is the top siphon. is that these are covered with mucus.